Sambhal riots boom in parliament. Survey clamped, politics explodes. Rahul and Priyanka head to Sambhal. As showdown escalates, spotlight on Places of Worship Act. Hostile face-off dominates agenda. The big focus on news track.
There's tension in parliament, there's tension on ground. And now it's not just Sambhal, there's also Badayu. And on this broadcast, we'll tell you both about what's happening in Sambhal, what's happening in Badayu, and how politics is virtually exploding. I'm Gaurav Sawant as always. So the Sambhal mosque survey may have been put on hold, but politics on Sambhal is escalating. Violent clashes that erupted on the 24th of November, now that's echoing in parliament. The Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav accused the BJP of masterminding the conspiracy in Sambhal. Tomorrow, leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, will be heading to Sambhal, and this despite prohibitory orders being enforced there. The political war of words has erupted. The spotlight is once again back on the Places of Worship Act 1991.
Over a week after violent clashes in Sambhal, Uttar Pradesh, Samajwadi Party chief and MP Akhilesh Yadav raised the issue in parliament and blamed the BJP for the violent escalation.
ये जो घटना हुई है, ये सोची समझी रणनीति के तहत वेल प्लान्ड हुआ है। भारतीय जनता पार्टी और उनके सहयोगी और समर्थक शुभचिंतक बार-बार खुदाई की जो बात कर रहे हैं अध्यक्ष महोदय, ये खुदाई जो है हमारे देश का सौहार्द, हमारे देश का भाईचारा, हमारे देश का गंगा जमनी तहजीब को खो देगा। मैं आपका धन्यवाद इसलिए भी देता हूं कि
Akhilesh Yadav also questioned the timing of the mosque survey.
सोची समझी इसलिए मैं बोल रहा हूं। 22/11/2024 फ्राइडे को जुमे की नमाज के लिए लोग नमाज अदा करने के लिए जामा मस्जिद पहुंचे, लेकिन पुलिस प्रशासन ने बैरिकेड लगा दिया ताकि लोग नमाज न पढ़ सकें। 29/11/2024 को कोर्ट की अगली तारीख तय थी, परंतु दिनांक 23/11/2024 की रात पुलिस प्रशासन द्वारा कहा गया 24/11/2024 यानी अगले दिन सुबह को दोबारा सर्वे किया जाएगा, और तानाशाही दिखाते हुए सुबह के वक्त से पहले शाही जामा मस्जिद आ गई।
On ground zero Sambhal, situation remains tense and prohibitory orders are still in place. Leader of opposition in Lok Sabha, Rahul Gandhi, and his sister, Congress MP Priyanka Gandhi Vadra, are likely to visit the restive town on Wednesday. This after a Congress delegation was stopped from entering Sambhal on Monday. The Moradabad district administration has made it clear that Rahul Gandhi or any other political leader will not be allowed into Sambhal.
उनके ऊपर भी यही चीज लागू होता है, उनसे भी लगातार रिक्वेस्ट की जा रही है कि अभी संभल ना आवे, बेहतर होगा। जो स्थिति है सबके लिए एक जैसी है। अभी जिलाधिकारी के आदेश से 10 तारीख तक सबके आने पर अभी भी रोक है। किसी को रोकना भी हम नहीं चाहते, बट यही है कि स्थिति में किसी तरीके का तनाव ना हो जाए।
In a big twist, 2 Pakistan-made 9mm cartridges have been recovered from the site of violence. Sambhal erupted in violence on November 24 following a court-ordered survey of the Mughal-era Shahi Jama Masjid, which Hindus claim was built over a temple.
लगातार घटना को सरकार ने गंभीरता से लिया है। न्यायिक जांच भी चल रही है, उच्च स्तरीय जांच भी चल रही है। जो भी दोषी होगा कानून के तहत कड़ी कार्रवाई होगी। अभी प्राथमिकता हमें वहां पर शांति स्थापित रहे, लोगों को रहने खाने में दिक्कत नहीं, ये जिम्मेदारी हमारी है।
The Supreme Court has halted survey proceedings and sealed the report until the Allahabad High Court hears the Mosque Committee's appeal. With Piyush Mishra and Mosmi Singh in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
So even as Uttar Pradesh and the political leadership in the country grapples with the ASI survey at Sambhal. It's being raked up in Parliament. A court in Uttar Pradesh has accepted a petition against a mosque in Badayu district on behalf of the Neelkant Mahadev Mandir petitioners. Now, the petitioners in Badayu claim that a temple of Neelkant Mahadev stood in place of where the Shamshi Shahi Masjid stands today. The Shamshi Shahi Masjid Committee on its part claims that the mosque in Badayu is more than 800 years old and that there was no temple there. So there is a claim and a counterclaim even in Badayu. Jama Masjid at Badayu or the Neelkant Mahadev temple. Amidst the raging controversy at Sambhal, the Hindu and the Muslim sides are facing off in the Badayu court, with the Hindu side seeking unhindered access to worship at what they call is the Neelkant Mahadev temple at Badayu.
ये बदायूं तो धरती राजा महिपाल की नगरी है और ये राजा महिपाल का किला है और राजा महिपाल का किला हम के में शिव मंदिर है। आज हम एक एक इंच अपने शिव मंदिर की भूमि और अपना शिव मंदिर अदालत के माध्यम से, कानून के माध्यम से लेना चाहते हैं और लेंगे।
The Muslim side has vehemently opposed the Hindu claim of the Jama Masjid being the Neelkant Mahadev temple, insisting the mosque gets its name from Emperor Shamshuddin Iltutmish and that they have been offering namaz here non-stop for over 800 years.
उसमें हमारा कहना है कि हिंदू पक्ष का दावा बेसर पैर का है। ये अपने आप को हाईलाइट करने के लिए, शहर का अमन-ओ-मान खराब करने के लिए, अपनी जो है सियासत चमकाने के लिए मुकदमा दायर किया, इसमें कोई बल नहीं।
The Hindu side claims it has evidence that the Shamsi Shahi Mosque was a Lord Shiva temple and that there is documentary evidence to prove that the premises is Hindu property.
पर्याप्त साक्ष्य है हमारे पास और ये साक्ष्य स्वयं वो मानते हैं कि पुरातत्व विभाग की चीज है, चाहे मंदिर की प्रॉपर्टी हो, चाहे किसी सरकार की प्रॉपर्टी हो, उस पर कब्जा कर लेने से उसका अधिकृत कब्जा नहीं होता, इलीगल ही रहेगा।
The Muslim side has taken the plea of violation of Places of Worship Act 1991, claiming such petitions are not maintainable and are only intended to vitiate communal harmony in the state.
1856 तक का जो ब्रिटिश पीरियड का इतिहास है, उस इतिहास में शमसी जामा मस्जिद बदायूं दर्ज है और यहाँ पर कहीं भी मंदिर होने का या मूर्ति का कहीं कोई सबूत नहीं है।
As the Sambhal controversy escalated in Parliament, the Badayu issue also gathered momentum, with the Samajwadi Party accusing the BJP of weaponizing historical and archaeological claims for political gains.
बीजेपी का ध्यान इस देश में खाली ये है कि कैसे किसी मुस्लिम पक्ष को तंग किया जाए। ये एक सोचे समझे रणनीति है, राजनीति है। हिंदू मुसलमान करने से निश्चित तौर पे रिवोल्ट होगा, कोई फायदा बीजेपी को नहीं होगा।
Union Minister Giriraj Singh hit back, insisting the attempt was only to ascertain facts on ground so that an effort could be mounted legally to seek justice.
मैं तो यही बार बार कहता हूँ, लोग कहते हैं कितने मस्जिदों पर होगा। हमने कहा कि कोई हिंदू कहीं भी अगर साक्ष्य मिलता है, साक्ष्य कोर्ट में जमा करता है और कोर्ट इजाजत देती है, तो मुस्लिम पक्ष को हल्ला नहीं करना चाहिए, मानना चाहिए।
The matter is listed for further hearing for the 10th of December. Bureau Report, India Today. Now, in the Sambhal case, the petitioner is Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain. He joins us on this special broadcast. Before I throw it open for a wider discussion, I want to bring in Vishnu Shankar Jain for more on this. Vishnu Shankar Jain, there are several mosques, including the Sambhal Shahi Jama Masjid, Mathura's Shahi Eidgah, the mosque at Badayu, where claims are being made that this was where a temple stood, including the Bhodshala in Madhya Pradesh, where you've taken up the case once again. Now, is there a wider trend in this? What is it that you're hoping to achieve? Initially, we were told that it's Ayodhya, then Mathura, then Kashi, but now there appears to be a bigger case, sir.
It is not about trend, it's about a judicial right. If the people of this country have a right to reclaim back their temples, which were destroyed, then definitely a legal right accrues, and as per the legal right, you can file cases before the court. The point is that as per Shastrik Niyam of the Hindus, once a temple, always a temple is a basic Shastrik Niyam which is being followed, which has been also delivered by the Honorable Supreme Court in Ram Mandir case. So if there was a pre-existing temple at any point of time, definitely you have a legal right to reclaim it back. And it is also, as per Islamic law, in violation of Islamic law, because no Islamic scholar can say that you can build a mosque after demolishing a Hindu temple. And many cases, so far as Gyanvapi is concerned, the entire evidence which we have found in Gyanvapi case is saying that it's a precincts of an old Hindu temple. The evidence which is there in Mathura Shri Krishna Janmabhoomi case, where survey is yet to happen, will also prove to the hilt that there was a pre-existing Hindu temple. In Bhoshala case, survey was already conducted and the ASI has come to a conclusion that this was a pre-existing Hindu temple. So that's why this survey and all these things are objected, because they know that the truth will come out.
Okay. So it is a Hindu right to know the truth and reclaim their places of worship is what you insist. How do you interpret the timeline of events like in the Chandosi mosque inspection case, where the petition, the approval and the survey all executed within hours, where parties like the Samajwadi Party or some who are representing the cause of the Muslim side say that all of this appears planned to vitiate the atmosphere? Does the pace raise concern about due process of law being followed and the potential for communal unrest?
Yeah, I understand your question, Rahul. See, the point is that people who are objecting to the procedure which have been adopted by the court, they actually do not know the legal procedure which is followed under the CPC. If you will go and interview various lawyers under the civil court, under the CPC, the surveys are ordered regularly, and it is not like that you present a petition before the court and the matter is heard after 1 day, after 7 days or after 8 days. In a civil court, when you move a fresh matter, it is listed on the same day at 2 o'clock, and after hearing the parties, ex-party advocate commissioner appointments are ordered. In a routine manner it is ordered. And I must also quote a judgment of the Supreme Court, 1989, 1 SCC, page 19. In that judgment of the Supreme Court, and there are various other judgments also, Bombay High Court and various other high courts, where the courts have taken a view that advocate commissioner can be appointed ex parte. The only requirement and the only mandate of law for appointment of advocate commissioner is that when he is going to conduct the survey, he has to take along with himself the party who is the affected party, and that's the only requirement. So to say that when you file a petition immediately, the court ordered advocate commission survey and you are prejudiced is against the basic tenets of law, is against the judgments of the Supreme Court.
Fair enough, but what about the Places of Worship Act 1991 that's been quoted very extensively, saying it prohibits any change to the character of the place of worship as it exists on the 15th of August 1947. And the Supreme Court in the Ayodhya verdict, as you're well aware, upheld the Places of Worship Act and stated that historical wrongs cannot justify contemporary disputes.
See, first of all, you have to understand the quotation which you have given, Rahul, of the Supreme Court verdict is a passing remark. It's an obiter and it is not binding. In the same way, I can also quote the oral observation of Justice Chandrachud in Gyanvapi case, where he had observed and said that you can file cases to determine the religious character. So both these legal propositions are not applicable. What is applicable and what holds the field is the judgment of Honorable Allahabad High Court delivered by Honorable Justice Rohit Ranjan Agarwal on 19th of December 2023, wherein he had held, and it's a judicial verdict which has not been stayed by the Supreme Court till date, wherein he has held that you can file cases to ascertain the religious character of a place of worship. And in Gyanvapi case also it has been held that Places of Worship Act is not attracted. So the interpretation the question which you are asking about the Places of Worship Act, according to me, that's not a sound legal interpretation. And with the legal interpretation which I am putting in front of you, the matter is sub judice before the Honorable Supreme Court.
It indeed is. Now, there is historical evidence to suggest, and there are several historians who say that Aurangzeb was involved not just in ordering the destruction at Kashi Vishwanath and Mathura, but also at several other temples. The number varies from 10 to 15 to even more. Some argue that he oversaw the demolition of many, many more temples. It could go into hundreds. Local temples, bigger temples. It was all a part of a military campaign or ordering local governors who were acting on his behalf. Now, are you now suggesting that Hindus should reclaim all such temples that were destroyed either on the instructions of Aurangzeb or other invaders and bigoted emperors?
If there is a proof that temple has been demolished, then definitely there is a legal right which accrues and you have a right to reclaim it back. How much we will reclaim is a matter which will be decided in future after scrutinizing the evidence. But definitely, as per the question which you have asked me, if a temple has been demolished, it is not correct as per Islamic law, and as per Hindu Shastric law, once a temple, always a temple. Okay. You have a right to restore it back.
Vishnu Shankar Jain for joining me here on India Today. Many thanks. I now want to throw it open for a wider discussion, and I want to quickly bring in Juhi Singh, spokesperson of the Samajwadi Party, into this conversation. Also joining me on this broadcast is Anila Singh of the Bharatiya Janata Party. Sri Raj Nair also joins us on this show. And Juhi Singh, let me begin by asking you. Now, is there merit in Hindus saying, or the petitioners saying, if it is a temple and I can produce evidence that there was a temple that stood here, I'm going to courts of law for justice. Why deny me that right to go to a court of law and get justice?
Gaurav, what is the rationale? He was hiding behind his legal facade to say that the Hindu law says and the Islamic law says this. We are going to order surveys wherever he thinks or anybody thinks it's their right, in spite of the Places of Worships Act, to go to court, conduct surveys. It's a sensitive matter. The situation in Sambhal will repeat itself. People, because of the administration, the such as it is of the BJP government in UP, many people are dead, many families are suffering. Sambhal is completely cornered off. You are repeating that in Badayu. So I do not know what citizen of India with what integrity thinks that he is doing something really patriotic or something which is to his faith by going to court, asking, and he's just quoted the Allahabad High Court judgment. So I would say that this is again a way for the BJP government to hide their inability to address the real issues on ground. And of course, I mean, what has happened in Sambhal, we will keep asking questions. Yeah.
Anila Singh, respond that this is an attempt to, one, shift focus away from real issues, and two, why rake up these issues today? The point that Juhi Singh is making is this is administrative inadequacies that so many people lost their lives at Sambhal.
My Ram to all, and I am going to say one thing here for the consumption of Mrs. Juhi Singh as well, and all those political parties, institutes, or the people who keep on addressing this issue as if the people who follow Sanatan Dharma, they are targeting people of one particular community. So I will say the sentiments of the Hindu or Sanatanis, they can be above Bharatiya Janata Party and RSS. So Samajwadi Party must understand this thing. When a Sanatani raises his or her voice, it is not necessary that he votes for Bharatiya Janata Party or he is a Sanghi. Kindly understand this thing. And secondly, I want to say here, yes, we are very proud that Bharatiya Janata Party is the only political party in Bharat which raises the voice of majority population living in this country, which had been targeted by Congress Party because it was a handcrafted political party by Angrez, Britishers, and they ridiculed us. They appeased one particular religious community people, and because of that, they brought Places of Worship Act 1991. They empowered Waqf Act. Now, all the endowments of the major temples of our country, that goes to the government, and number of the list, I will say. Now, when we talk about the Places of the Worship Act, just now Mrs. Juhi Singh said that Vishnu Shankar Jain is hiding behind a law. No, he is not hiding behind any law. He is a lawyer and he knows his work very well.
Okay.
Perhaps your problem is that, yes, he stands for the majority population in the court. So if we talk about the Places of Worship Act 1991, two interpretations are given out of it. Number one, it is a very secular law act. And number two, that the religious character of any monument will be defined as it was before 15th August 1947. But as very well said by Vishnu Shankar Jain, that we must read the verdict of Justice Rohit Ranjan Agarwal ji, where he says that it can be challenged, like Places of Worship Act gives us this liberty that
let me bring in Juhi Singh, since you've directly named her. Juhi Singh, the allegation of the Bharatiya Janata Party is, whether it's the Samajwadi Party or her allegation is the Congress Party, you're only doing minority vote bank politics. You do not want Hindus to get their rights. If Hindus were denied their rights by the Mughals, why should they not get their religious places back today if it is supported by law? Why can't they get the Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi back, for example?
Gaurav, let's put this in perspective. In Ayodhya, the BJP government has completely removed many smaller temples to make way for a bigger way to beautify the city. So, do we go to court now, file for a judgment in the courts that the BJP government is doing this against our wishes? And you can talk to people who were worshipping there. So, Ms. Anila Singh, please go and take a reality check. People have been killed in Sambhal. Your administration has been totally inept. In fact, they have been consciously involved in this riot. It's such a sensitive matter, and then you are saying there were drones, you are releasing images, you are doing press conferences, you are not allowing the opposition to go there. So what do you have to hide? Address the real issues. And Mr. Jain, I mean, he's got his moment of glory, but I said that he was hiding behind the legal jargon which he was using.
Fair enough. My question to you was very simple, madam. My question to you was very simple. Sri Krishna was born in Mathura. Can Hindus reclaim the Sri Krishna Janmabhoomi if there is evidence to say there was a temple there? It was a very simple question. I haven't got an answer. I want to bring in... Go on, madam.
Okay. Gaurav, are we going to go on this digging spree of entire India wherever we want? We have been independent since 1947. We've got our constitution in 1950. Can we not just move ahead? We have real issues to address. But if Ms. Anila Singh thinks, or if you asked me a question, I'll answer it. That what is this Sanatan? What is the definition of this, which she claims that the BJP has a prior ownership to this particular word? Explain Ayodhya to me, explain Varanasi also to me, that you have removed, you have relocated temples. Under what law have you done it, and why did you do it, if this entire story has to be woven around the fact that it's my faith, if I worship somewhere, if I think something existed, then I must destroy what is in present. I mean, this is bizarre. It doesn't happen in a democracy. It should not.
I want to bring in Sriraj Nair into this conversation. Sriraj Nair, you heard Juhi Singh. Juhi Singh says whatever historical wrong may or may not have happened in the past, it's in the past. There is a Places of Worship Act 1991 that was put in place, which said the religious character of a place as it existed on August 15, 1947, it should remain like that. Why is that being tampered with today, sir?
First of all, the Muslim side cannot believe in the laws of the land according to their own convenience. The problem here it is very simple, Gaurav. The political party which Mrs. Juhi Singh represents, that is the main cause of concern. It is this party, especially Samajwadi Party, which appeals Muslims. The Congress Party also, it appeals Muslims, and it ensured the Muslims are left behind. Now a simple survey has been ordered. What was the problem? Now, Waqf board in India, you see, they have claimed properties after properties. They have claimed temples which were 2,000 year old. They have claimed villages after villages. Badruddin Ajmal claimed Parliament, airport, and some Muslim Maulana was claiming Supreme Court premises also. Did any riot happen anywhere? Now, this is a global phenomenon. The problem is from Belgium to Beirut to Kashmir to Mumbai to Sambhal. Where are the stone pelters coming from, and where are the stones coming from?
Okay.
So all these things is happening only because of appeasement politics. For last 60 years, Muslims have been used as pure vote bank, and this Samajwadi Party, Mulayam Singh ji, Lalu Prasad, Congress Party, they ensured that these Muslims are never educated. They never gave them pen.
I have advocate Kapil Madan also joining on the broadcast. But since you've levelled a direct allegation at Juhi Singh and Samajwadi Party, I must give her the opportunity to first respond and adequately, and then I'll come to Mr. Kapil Madan. Go on, madam, since an allegation has been levelled by Sriraj Nair of the Vishwa Hindu Parishad that parties like the Samajwadi Party and certain other parties, which unfortunately are not there on the show, so I will not name them, they have directly been involved in Muslim appeasement, as he says, and that is why you do not want facts to come out today. That is why these parties do not want Hindus to get justice even today.
So, Gaurav, his mask has been ripped apart by himself. We did not bring any political party. We just talked about the administration, the government, the BJP, who was supposed to be on watch that these things did not happen in Sambhal. It's okay for him to accuse the Samajwadi Party, but take a hike and maintain peace and order in Sambhal. People are still suffering. That is our basic commitment. The UP government has to allow the opposition leaders,
yes.
Or why don't they send some of their leaders also? It's the intention is so different from what they speak, and that is the basic dichotomy, and that is the basic. They've made UP into this experiment laboratory of hatred, of divisiveness, and we will not let it happen. And I do not want to even answer to his really bizarre allegations. The Muslims are suffering. The Muslims are the ones who have died there, and if the BJP claims that they are supporting them, then stand with them. The government of the day not allow your officers to hold regular press conferences where they are justifying themselves and their deeds, and the fact that they allowed this riot to happen, and it is spreading. I mean, now you are taking it to Badayu, you are taking it to other places, while the Chief Minister is completely silent. Does he not know what is happening in Sambhal, or the Home Secretary does not know, or he chooses to be elsewhere in celebration? So it raises a big question mark.
Okay, before I bring in Mr. Kapil Madan, ma'am, quickly respond, since she's directly levelled an allegation or made a point about the BJP. Quickly respond before I bring in Mr. Madan.
See, I have to say one thing. I have to say one thing to Mrs. Juhi Singh. Mrs. Juhi Singh, you mentioned that so many small temples, they were erased to make the path for the
yes,
bigger temple, make it to
they have been, ma'am.
No, ma'am,
yes.
Please keep quiet. I did not interject. All right, you are more than welcome to go to the court.
Okay.
Ambedkar Saab has written that the soul of the constitution is that any citizen of this great country of ours can go in the court and get the justice. So you think that Bharatiya Janata Party government in Uttar Pradesh is doing some sort of injustice? You are more than welcome to go to the court. Secondly, you are saying that while this present government under Yogi Adityanath ji is not allowing Samajwadi Party delegation or the Congress Party delegation to go to Sambhal, you want to ignite more fire there. We know it very well that this danga, you have taken the panga, and you mean Samajwadi Party workers. They started danga. It was a clash of clan in between the member of parliament of Samajwadi Party and MLA, and you are targeting Yogi government there. Secondly, I want to know, why didn't you go to the Shimla when Hindus were targeted there? You didn't say a thing. You didn't go there. You mean Samajwadi Party or the Congress Party. You did not go to the West Bengal, Calcutta. You don't say a word about the Bangladeshi Hindus. So wherever Muslims are there, you want to go there for the appeasement politics. Do you think Yogi government is going to allow you to do that? Of course not. We are serving the state. We are giving justice and equality to each and every citizen.
She's threatening me, Mr. Gaurav Sawant. Am I supposed to be threatened on this panel? We are here to prevail the peace and harmony. Samajwadi Party or the Congress Party is going to interfere. Gaurav, she's threatening me. Any sort of hurdle.
Anila Singh ji, Juhi Singh ji wants to respond to you. Ma'am, please respond. I have to bring in Mr. Kapil Madan, but since there's a direct point being made and counterpoint, Ms. Juhi Singh, please come in, ma'am.
Yogi government.
Gaurav, I belong to India. I will not be threatened on this panel by any spokesperson, even of the government or of the BJP. She's telling me she will not allow. Do you think you will allow? That means that you have admitted on this panel that you have relocated,
Go to the court. It is the duty of the
in
union.
Ayodhya and Varanasi. I'm asking why.
We know it.
I'm asking why.
Was given
Why?
by your political party, that how the clashes.
Why is she going berserk?
One by one, ma'am. One by
Madam,
one.
please.
Okay, Ms.
Relax.
Juhi Singh, please complete
Chill
your point.
out. Yeah.
It led to what? It led to riots there. We know it very well. The
Gaurav,
position
just
which
that,
Akhilesh Yadavji and his party is going through.
Okay. Anila Singh ji, you made your point. Juhi Singh ji, please respond.
Gaurav, yes. Gaurav, basic commitment, bring peace to Sambhal. The administration is not handling the matter properly. They were the ones who are consciously involved. So sending a judicial inquiry commission is not going to make a difference. Just transfer.
Anila Singh ji, give me 30 seconds till she finishes her point and I bring in
for
Mr.
what has
Madan.
happened and deaths of people.
Fair enough.
Constitution is how the administration should be delivered. Come on, don't preach us. We know our job very well.
Okay.
And people of Uttar Pradesh, they are standing with us. By-poll elections has showed you the mirror.
Okay. And the ground reality right now, and I want to bring in Kapil Madan on the legal point. Mr. Madan, the point that was being made by Advocate Vishnu Shankar Jain, petitioner in the Sambhal case, was no law prohibits Hindus in this country if there is evidence to approach courts of law and seek grievance redressal. In case they perceive that there was a temple at Kashi or Mathura or at Sambhal, they will produce evidence in court and seek justice, sir.
Now, Gaurav, we need to understand what is the word justice, what Mr. Vishnu Jain was referring to. Let me just, give your viewers a context of it. If you look at the Places of Worship Act, Section 3 very categorically says that you cannot change the religious character of any place of worship that existed in 1947. So that's, I don't know how, Mr. Jain is trying to read this law, how he's trying to interpret the law. There is a categorical bar insofar as Places of Worship Act is concerned. That is point number one.
Does that also include ASI protected monuments, sir?
Yes. Now, let me respond to the, second aspect. Now, we also have another act, which is, more popularly known as Ancient Monument and Archaeological Sites and Remains Act. ASI draws its power under this act. If you look at this act also, Section 16 very categorically mentions, it can be read paramateria with Section 3 of Places of Worship Act. And it also says, if there is any protected site is defined as a site which is more than 100-year-old. So even if it is, it could be any places of worship or any protected monument which is more than 100 years old, you cannot change the character of that place also. There is a bar under Section 16 also.
Okay.
So I'm a little amused when Mr. Jain, tries to argue that there is no law that prohibits. There is a categorical law. Now, insofar as, let me come back to the issue at hand and what has happened in Sambhal.
So can I just quickly ask you one question, sir? Just for clarity, for my clarity and the clarity of our viewers, if the Archaeological Survey of India is meant to protect a monument, should it be in control of that monument it is meant to protect if it is a listed monument? If it is not in control of that monument, for example, at Sambhal, let's take an example, Sambhal. Should it be in control of that monument and not any masjid intizamiya?
No, it doesn't say that, because it says that religious character of if the place is being used as a mosque or a temple, it will stay like this. But yes, ASI gets power to ensure that the monument is protected. There are no changes, deviation, because this monument has a historical relevance also. So therefore, I think Mr. Vishnu Jain should read both these acts, together. Maybe he'll get some clarity out of it. To my understanding, I am absolutely clear. Mr. Vishnu Jain has neither read this act, Places of Worship Act. He is, misreading it. So that's point number one. My point number two is what has happened in Sambhal here. Let's look at, the sequence of events here. What I understand from the media report is that without issuing notice to the other side, a survey was ordered ex parte as an ad interim measure. Now, let me just give you one example here. For example, if there is a home someone, makes a claim on that home saying XYZ, and the court does not give an opportunity of being heard to someone who's occupying that house, and a survey is being ordered. So therefore, we have a concept called principle of natural justice, which mandates that whenever you want to pass any kind of an adverse order, or if the order is going to adversely impact any individual, that person should at least be heard before that order is passed.
And that person is not entitled to right. You agree with that? That person should be heard in a court of law. That person should approach a court of law. That person does not have a right to right in our country. You appreciate that?
Absolutely. Yes.
But what happened in Sambhal was a right. But Sriraj Nair wants to respond to you.
Mr. Sawant, I think the question was to me. Allow me a chance to respond.
So,
if the administration is not able to comply, just a minute. If the administration is not able to execute the court's order, whether passed rightly or wrongly, that's a separate matter. Then whose fault is this?
Sir, if the administration is not able to comply,
they were not able to execute
will it be settled on the streets? Anila Singh, will it be settled on the streets, or will people have to go back to court for to have it settled? Or is there a perception that some are allowed to settle matters on the street? Anila Singh, because the administration very clearly has failed.
Gaurav, this is what Samajwadi Party has done. They instigated the situation because they had handed over a blueprint to their workers in Sambhal. And this is what they wanted to do in Bahraich as well. And they had been doing such, so, and they will be keep on doing so. It is the duty of the Yogi government to check it out.
But if there is nothing to hide, Sriraj Nair, I want to understand.
Your interpretation
if there is nothing to hide, why not let Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra and others who may want to go to ascertain facts for themselves? Why stop them? The administration should be strong enough to ensure that the situation does not go out of hand again.
See, Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi are known for treasury tourism. They are known to flare up things. Right now, the situation there we all know. So what they are going to do, everybody knows. So that is the reason the government administration has stopped them. And moreover, I would like to convey this: our nation is known for its pure and fair judicial process. Even the terrorists like Kasab and the Kashmiri terrorists got fair trial, and let the judicial process go on. Why are these people worried about? Why are these people flaring out? Why are these people ensuring that stone pelters are encouraged? Why are these terror mongers encouraged? It is only because of vote bank politics this kind of people are encouraged, and they are creating riots.
Kapil Badaun, the last 30 seconds I have on this part of the show,
that their people are
in case people are aggrieved by a court order, they will have to go back to court for grievance redressal. At least they have faith in courts of law.
So Gaurav, this is the kind of response we get when you don't have a plausible answer. I heard BJP spokesperson and another person from the RSS also. They don't have any plausible, logical, rational. They're trying to confuse two issues. If there is someone who is taking law in its own hand, he should be prosecuted. There cannot be no two doubts about it. But my point is larger. My point is there is a court order. The local commissioner was trying to execute the court order, and if they're not able to do it, who is to be held responsible for that? Of course, someone who has taken law on its own hand needs to be prosecuted. There is no doubt about it. But at the same time, the government cannot shy away from taking responsibility and accountability of what has happened at Sambhal. That's my limited point.
Fair enough. Anila Singh, last 20 seconds.
All right, Gaurav, I just have to tell Mr. Madan, I think so very willfully you do not want to understand, or you want to just prevail a narrative where it is being mentioned that by Places of Worship Act, you cannot claim any monument yours if it was a masjid on the date of 15th August 1947. All right, but once a temple, always a temple. Even we want the religious character of that monument, and that can be done by the proper survey. And in today's date, we do not have to dig out anything. We do not have to break anything. By the help of radar, you can very well know that what is beneath that wall.
That very clearly is for courts of law to decide. From that? But people in this country must get back to courts of law for justice and not resort to street justice or attempt and justify street justice or violence on the streets. That's strictly unacceptable. To all my guests, many thanks for joining me on this broadcast. Let's now get you the latest on government formation in Maharashtra. So after that Eknath Shinde's speed bump, the Mahayuti alliance is moving full speed ahead on government formation. Devendra Fadnavis, Eknath Shinde and Ajit Pawar will be meeting the governor tomorrow. They will stake claim to form the government. Preparations are underway at Mumbai's Azad Maidan for a grand swearing-in where the next Maharashtra Chief Minister and his two deputies will take oath. But what's the power sharing formula? India Today's Maharashtra Bureau with the inside story. Mahayuti gets ready to form the next government in Maharashtra. Devendra Fadnavis is all set to return as Chief Minister. While hectic parleys continue ahead of the swearing-in ceremony on the 5th of December, India Today has accessed exclusive details of the power-sharing formula that's in the works. To start with, sources say only Devendra Fadnavis from the BJP, Eknath Shinde from the Shiv Sena and Ajit Pawar from the NCP will be sworn in on the 5th of December. While the BJP may get around 22 ministerial berths, sources say the BJP is likely to retain Home, Revenue, Speaker's post and the post of the Legislative Council chairperson. Shiv Sena may get the Deputy Chief Minister's post. Against the 16 berths that Sena has demanded, they are likely to get 12. Sources also say Ajit Pawar's NCP is likely to get 10 berths in total and the control of the finance department. Meanwhile, the caretaker Chief Minister Eknath Shinde visited a hospital in Thane for a medical checkup on Tuesday. Shinde has not attended any meeting since he went to his village last week. He had cited ill health to skip the meetings, but now insists he's fine and all's good. Meanwhile, top Shiv Sena leaders met at Devendra Fadnavis' residence to discuss the oath-taking ceremony plans. BJP observers from Maharashtra, Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and former Gujarat Chief Minister Vijay Rupani will be a part of the key BJP meet on the 4th of December that will formally announce the chief ministerial pick.
कल सुबह 11 बजे हमारे सभी विधायक दल की बैठक है और वहाँ हम लोग चर्चा विचारणा करेंगे और उसके बाद सर्वसम्मति से नेता की चुनाव होगी और उसका नाम हाईकमांड को बताएंगे फिर घोषित करेंगे.
There is, however, a power struggle within the Mahayuti. The NCP has claimed it is now party number 2 in the alliance after the BJP.
ज्याला स्ट्राइक रेट आपण म्हणतो त्याच्यामध्ये बीजेपी 1 नंबरला आमच्यामध्ये आणि 2 नंबरला अर्थातच अजित पवार गट आहे आणि 3 नंबरला शिंदे साहेबांचा गट आहे. थोडासा फरक आहे 2 नंबर 3 नंबर मध्ये. तर आमच्या म्हणणं असं आहे की आमचा पण स्ट्राइक रेट चांगला आहे तर तुम्ही त्यांच्या एवढीच आम्हाला पण जागा द्या.
The 3/4 landslide it has won means that the Mahayuti has many aspirants for cabinet berths. The challenge for the BJP-led Mahayuti is to manage expectations of the allies and its own leaders. With Mustafa Sheikh in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today. And the opposition India alliance seems to be split wide open on the issue that it wants to corner the centre on, especially in Parliament. While the Congress party has made it very clear that it wants to corner the government on the Adani issue. Make that the focal point. Other opposition parties want to debate on wider issues and on multiple issues. The TMC and the Samajwadi Party, for example, they stayed away from the protest on the Adani issue today, even as Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi Vadra took part in those protests.
The absence of two parties speaks volumes of exactly what's taking place in the India bloc today. The Samajwadi Party and Trinamool Congress conspicuous in their boycott of the protest. Their MPs were very much in parliament but chose not to be in the protest that had Rahul Gandhi and Priyanka Gandhi in attendance.
You can see the leaders of opposition, including Rahul Gandhi, Priyanka Gandhi, Vadra, Sanjay Singh, Manoj Jha, and various other opposition political parties have joined this protest. They are also holding a placard which reads Modi Adani are same. You can see as to how the opposition is now raising the issue of Adani, and the DMK has also joined this massive protest.
The differences, therefore, are clear. Allies of the Congress don't agree with the Adani narrative and want other issues to be discussed on priority in Parliament.
देखिए फिलहाल हमारे जो पार्टी का नज़रिया है उस हिसाब से हमें लगता है कि संभल से ज्वलंत मुद्दा अभी कोई नहीं है और हिंसा हुई है, लोगों की जानें गई हैं, तो हमारी प्रायोरिटी संभल है. हम चाहते हैं कि चर्चा सबसे पहले संभल पे हो, हम सरकार से प्रश्न करें, उनके जवाब दें.
Interestingly, the Congress seems to have climbed down from its Adani stance, saying now that they want other issues to be discussed too.
It was an opportunity, I think, to send a clear message that now we're about to cooperate in Parliament, where, of course, the government sets the agenda and they're the ones who decide as to what issues are going to be discussed. But as far as this is concerned, there's a whole range of issues we want to convey to the public what are uppermost in the minds of the people. It's being simplified as a one-issue protest. It wasn't.
But today as well, the House saw repeated disruptions with Adani slogans being raised. Sample this. When Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman stood to speak, the opposition MPs kicked off their sloganeering.
1934, the Banking Regulation Act 1949.
The government has lashed out at the Congress, accusing the party of resorting to disruptive politics despite an understanding.
देखिए, पार्लियामेंट में जैसा मेंबर्स का बिहेवियर है वो सब देश देखता है और पार्लियामेंट का बहुत तरीके होते हैं चलाने का. रूल्स, रेगुलेशंस, कन्वेंशंस, कई चीज़ें होते हैं जिसको पालन करना होता है. अगर पार्लियामेंट नहीं चलेगा तो देश कैसे चलेगा?
The differences in the India bloc are widening, particularly it seems between the Congress and the Trinamool. A rather public war of words is also playing out over who should lead the India bloc now.
जितनी बार वह अपमान करने के लिए बंगाल का, वहां की अस्मिता का आते हैं, उतनी बार उनका और वोट बढ़ जाता है. और जो उनका कद है, एक बहुत ही वरिष्ठ नेत्री हैं, सामने स्पष्ट रूप से साफ बात को रखते हैं. ममता दीदी सबको साथ लेके चलने वालों में से हैं. वह पूरा समय देकर, तैयारी कर कर उसके बाद ही लोगों को बुलाती हैं.
हमारे देश में लोकतंत्र है. लोकतंत्र में संख्या देखी जाती है कि किसके पास संख्या किसकी है और फिर एक जिसको कहा जाता है कंसेंसस से फैसला होता है हमारे देश में और पूरा इंडिया गठबंधन तय करेगा कि कौन किसका नेतृत्व होना चाहिए.
Has this parliament session exposed the chinks in the opposition's armor? Will the Congress now put their Adani narrative on the back burner amidst pressure from its allies? Bureau Report, India Today.
I want to now shift focus to a very disturbing story from India's neighborhood. Hindus in Bangladesh continue to face increasing violence and discrimination. From attacks on Hindu priests to assault on Indian tourists, the situation is going from bad to worse. A lawyer defending Chinmoy Krishna Das, a Hindu priest, has been targeted by radical Islamists, and that sparked outrage. What is worse, lawyers in Chittagong, in the court premises, they're saying anyone who defends Chinmay Krishna Das will be thrashed. Meanwhile, there's global condemnation for the targeting of Hindus and other minorities in Bangladesh by the administration of Professor Muhammad Yunus, a Nobel laureate. We bring you more in this report.
Hindus targeted again in Bangladesh. Arrested Hindu monk Chinmay Krishna Das's lawyer, Roman Roy, was attacked allegedly by Islamists. ISKCON says Roman Roy was assaulted and his home ransacked because he defended Chinmay Das in the court.
एक साधु सन्यासी के लिए जेल में रहना ये एक सामान्य जगह नहीं है, बहुत ही कष्ट है, क्योंकि हम जानते हैं कि अभी वो एक जो भी पूरा जो वहाँ के माइनॉरिटीज़ हैं उनका चेहरा बन के उभरे हैं और हम देख रहे हैं कि माइनॉरिटीज़ के ऊपर में अटैक किया जा रहा है, तो ये तो स्वाभाविक है कि थ्रेट उनके ऊपर में है और जेल में कितने सुरक्षित रहेंगे वही बहुत चिंता होती है सोचकर.
After the brutal attack on Roman Roy, no other lawyer represented Chinmay Das in court. Now his bail plea will be heard on January 2nd. Lawyers are allegedly being threatened against taking up Chinmay Das's case. Amid rising attacks on Hindus, an Indian tourist was attacked in Bangladesh. 21-year-old Shayan Ghosh was brutally thrashed and looted.
वो लोग जब मुझे मार रहे थे तब बस इतना ही कह रहे थे, ये इंडियन हिंदू है, इसको मारो, ये यहाँ पे क्या कर रहा है. पहले तो मैंने वहाँ के जो हेल्पलाइन है 999 नंबर वहाँ पे कॉल किया. उन लोगों ने उल्टा मुझसे पूछताछ करना शुरू कर दिया कि मैं वहाँ पे क्यों हूँ, मैंने क्या किया, उन लोगों ने मुझे क्यों मारा, मेरा कैसा दोस्त लगता है, क्यों मैं गया उनके घर, कैसा संबंध है हमारा. मतलब उस उल्टा मुझसे ही पूछताछ करने लगे मदद की जगह.
Former Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, slammed the interim government headed by Muhammad Yunus over its failure to control attacks on Hindus, ISKCON monks and temples in Bangladesh.
এগারোটা গির্জা হয়ে গেছে, মন্দির ভেঙে গেছে, বুদ্ধ মঠ দিয়েছে এবং হিন্দুরা যখন আন্দোলন করলো সেই ইসকনের লিডারকে গ্রেপ্তার করেছে এবং আওয়ামী লীগ অত্যাচার শুরু করেছে তাদের উপর. সংখ্যালঘুদের উপর এই অত্যাচার কিসের জন্য?
Yunus government claims steps are being taken to protect the Hindus in the country.
Have we banned ISKCON? Have we done anything to them? We have protected all their, we have sent troops to guard all the all the ISKCON temples. You ask the ISKCON leaders here. We think we are here to establish the human rights of every human being. We are doing everything. And I think the Hindus and all the Muslims or all the Christians are safe here.
Anger over anti-Hindu atrocities in Bangladesh echoed in UK Parliament too.
We have a religious leader who has now been arrested. We need to know effectively what is being done to secure his release, due process in particular. What efforts has the government undertaken to build upon the last government's work to promote freedom of religion and belief in Bangladesh? And can the Minister say what discussions are taking place with other international partners to help restore this kind of stability that we desperately need to see in Bangladesh?
Many nations have condemned the attacks on Hindus and other minorities in Bangladesh. The country's interim government, however, has proved ineffective in protecting minority rights. Bureau Report, India Today.
The situation in Bangladesh remains very grim and we will track that story very closely. That is all I have for you on the news track this evening. Many thanks for watching.